Okay, so looks like we are live. So today I had a question on how to play the Pokemon trading card game, so I figured I would use the tool that is at my disposal to give just a quick, easy rundown of how to play the game. So let's see. Let me get set up here. Okay. Tutorial. Okay. Okay, so whenever you first start, you're going to draw a hand of 7 cards. You need 60 cards in a deck. And what you're going to be looking for are basic cards. At the top left of the card, it will say basic. And those are the Pokemon. To set up, you will set them face down on the field so your opponent doesn't get to see who's going to be active. And then you get to place up to 5 Pokemon in your bench. So, once per turn, once the game starts, you'll flip over and show who you have. They chose a Scyther, we chose a Voltorb. These are energy cards, and you can attach 1 energy card per turn. So we're going to attach this one to our Voltorb. Now you see this right down here, that's how many energy are attached. You can see an attack on the left hand side. It says that in order for him to begin attacking, he has to have 2 energy, 1 electric, and then the white one with the star means 1 of any color. And he does 20 points of damage. His hit points at the top right is how much damage he can take before he is removed from play. So, there are also trainer cards, such as items and supporters. Items, you can play as many items as possible as you have. Supporters, you can only play 1 per turn. And so, we're going to choose done because we do not have enough energy to attack. Now, after the Pokemon has been on the bench or on the field for 1 turn, you can then evolve it using the next stage. See, this tells you what stage, what Pokemon this one evolves from. Now, because he has 1 of any color, he can do a static shock for 20. He has currently taken 10 points of damage, and he can now take up to 80. So evolving them makes them stronger, and also opens up more attacks. There is a retreat cost, so if for some reason I did not want this guy to stay out on the field in the battle, I could actually choose to retreat him by paying this cost. He would then come back to the bench, and I'd be able to move a benched Pokemon up and out onto the field. Now, whenever you first start and you draw your hand, you set up your active Pokemon and your benched Pokemon on your first turn. Before you begin play, you will pull the top 6 cards from your deck and set them over to the side. These are your prize cards. Each time that an opponent's Pokemon is knocked out of play, you get to draw 1 prize card. First person to have no Pokemon in the bench or on the active area, if this area is completely empty of Pokemon and they do not have any basics to put out, they'll lose. Or if you draw all of your prize cards before your opponent, first person to draw all their prize cards will get to win. And so that's pretty much the basis of the entire game. Now, we have not played an energy for this turn, so we're going to attach 1 to our Pikachu right here, and we're going to start building him up while this guy does his job. This right here says draw cards until you have 4 cards in your hand. It is an item. We currently have 4 cards in hand, so it really wouldn't do us any good. So we're going to use Static Shock. Whenever you use one of these paid abilities that cost energy of a Pokemon, whether it's an attack or an ability that allows you to go search through your deck or some other ability, once you've used that ability, that ends your turn. So that ends the turn for us. Now they used an item card, and they did that to heal damage from one of their Pokemon. Now doing so, After that was done, doing so reduced the damage counter, so there's no longer any damage on this guy. He's got his full 70. They also added a second energy, which allows them to start using the Sharp Scythe, which does 20. There are weaknesses at the bottom of these cards, so if I had fire Pokemon, any damage that would be done times 2. So if my fire Pokemon did 20 damage and then it hit this guy, because this guy is weak to fire Pokemon, it would actually do double that as well. Resistance cuts that in half, and then you can also see his retreat cost. So we're going to attach another energy onto Pikachu. We're going to play Giovanni's Scheme, and in this one, it's a supporter. Remember, you can only play one supporter per turn. So you can either draw cards until you have 5, or this Pokemon does 20 additional damage. So we're going to use this one. So now our Pokemon is currently a little bit boosted. And so we're going to choose the Static Shock. Now remember, it is getting that 20-point boost from our supporter. So it does the increased damage of 40, and now his Pokemon has 40 damage on it. So turn order is you draw a card, because you get to draw 1 card each turn. Play any active Pokemon or benched Pokemon. You can attach 1 energy per turn. You can then play any items that you may have. So we're going to choose to switch Pikachu out there on the field, because this guy's pretty well damaged. He's got 50 points of damage done on him. He can only take 80. And now we're going to use the Bicycle, so that way we can draw back up to 4 cards. Now we have more items to use. Evo Soda. You can search your deck for a card that evolves from one of your Pokemon and put it onto that Pokemon. So we're going to do that. And we're going to look in our deck, and this one evolves from the little Pikachu. So we're going to take him. And that counts as the evolution for the turn. Now, this one, search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, put them into your hand. We're going to do that. And this is just going to give us some extra energy, so that way our attacks can get stronger, and we can use those to kind of buff these guys up in case they have to come out. Roller skate, flip a coin, if heads, draw 3 cards. So we're going to try that out and try our luck. We got heads. We got another basic Pokemon. Lay him out on the bench. We got a potion, so we're going to use that. Heal our little guy up. And now we've played all of our energy. We're out of item cards to play. We have no other basic Pokemon to put out. So now it's time to utilize some abilities. So we can either do a Thunder Shock, which will paralyze him. And if a Pokemon is paralyzed, then it gets turned on its side, and it cannot activate any of its abilities during that opponent's next turn. So we're going to try that just to show you what a kind of a special effect would look like. So now this guy, if he would have survived, would have been paralyzed, which means that he would not have been able to attack unless they would have flipped a coin after that first turn. Try that special ability again, just to show an example of it. Where it is. Alright, opponent's turn. It is paralyzed. So for this turn, it's not going to be able to utilize any of its special abilities that require energy to do so. So we have another Pikachu here. He takes 3 for Electro Ball. This one takes 3 for Electro Ball, so we already have 2 energy on him. So go ahead and get him to 3 in case he needs to roll out and do some damage. We already have this guy up here. So you saw what the special effect was. There are other special effects such as sleep. If you successfully put an opponent's Pokemon to sleep, then each turn that the Pokemon is asleep, they'll get to flip a coin. If they flip heads, then they'll get to wake it up. If an opponent's Pokemon, or Pokemon in general, is poisoned, then the Pokemon will take 10 damage each turn that it remains poisoned until you flip a coin of heads. So we're going to go ahead and use this potion to heal the Raichu. And since Electrode is maxed out on energy, Raichu is maxed out on energy, now we're going to start building up this Pikachu. So you see this guy only has 50. We have a Raichu that can do 30 and paralyze, or do 80. So we're going to do 80. You see, every time one of their Pokemon is knocked out of play, we get to pull one of these prize cards. We've already pulled 3. We have to either pull 1 more, or they have to run out of Pokemon on the bench. Now right now they played the Pokeball to try and search for a Pokemon. Because if I were to just knock this Pinsir out, and they had nothing to play, they would lose. So we're going to go ahead and put the Hard Charm on here. This is a item that can be attached to a Pokemon, and these items that can be attached have different abilities, different effects, and make your Pokemon stronger or more effective. And this is a Hard Charm, so any damage done to the Pokemon that this card is attached to by an opponent's attack is reduced by 20. So for instance, this guy's attack is 30 and 40, so if he were to attack, it would subtract 20 damage from those base numbers. So we're going to go ahead, that's a reminder, we have not played an energy this turn. We'll go ahead and use the Professor's Letter just to pull energy out of our deck. And that's going to be less energy cards that are in there, so that way we'll have a higher chance of pulling Pokemon or items that can actually help us. We're going to try to use the most damage we can to try and hurry up and get this guy off of the field. We have another basic, so we're going to play it. Play our energy for the turn, and utilize our attack. We'll draw our prize card. They'll move one of their bench Pokemon out as active. They're going to search for 2 basic energy cards. They're trying to pull some of the extra energy out. Now their Confusion Ray. Confusion means that every time that you were to attack, you would flip a coin, and if you get the coin flipped wrong, the Pokemon would actually do damage to itself. So that's Confusion is a dangerous one. Alright. We're going to use Electro Ball to take out that one. And since they had no Pokemon left on their bench to move to active, that wound up being a victory. So that's the basics of gameplay, as well as the different parts of the cards. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask them.